Hey, my resilient ones. I wanted to come in and give a word of encouragement that God laid on me that He won't allow me to put down. And it's about God will allow you to go through the storm. The storm is not there to break you, but the storm is there to build you up, to make you have faith in God, to make your faith stronger in Him. I know when I look back on my life and I look at all the different things that I've been through and that I've endured, and I would go into my pity party of God, why me? Why I gotta go through this? Why I gotta keep on struggling? Why I have to sit here and why every time I need someone, I'm here by myself. And when I look back, I was never by myself. Never by myself. But I know that God allowed me to go through those things so that my faith can be strong. And now in this season in my life, I know that there's nobody that I need. There's no job that I need. I don't care if you're away from family, friends, and everything that you know, everything that you're familiar with. God will send you out there in the wilderness. When God had me leave and go to Georgia by myself with my children, not knowing where we was going to live, and if you know, the Georgia is huge, and all I had was a rental car, and I was staying in a hotel, working 12-hour shifts, having to leave the kids in a hotel while I go to work, and praying and fighting and not knowing if I was going to be able to make it. And I'm like, God, I know you didn't send me out here to just send me out here, but now I see that it was to strengthen my faith. And the only way your faith can be strengthened is if you go through the storm. You don't need faith when everything is going right. You don't need faith when you got a whole bunch of people doing right, when your bank account is all full and fat, when your health is good. You don't need faith, but you need faith when things is going wrong, when things ain't going right, when everybody walk away, when your health is not in the best terms. That's when you got to stand on that faith. And everybody is in this season talking about standing on business, but people don't understand it's the faith. It's the faith that will keep you. When the coronavirus first came out and God showed me everything of what it was, it sent me crazy. But it was through that had me going and starting my gardening. It was through that once God dealt with me and let me know that I will be covered, that I had faith to know that this is something that God spoke to me about. This is something personal with me and Him, that I'm not going to be affected by this. This is not going to affect me. And it took strong faith to be around people that had it, to still have to go to work every day, and they bringing in new people every day, and I still have to go around that and to say, you know what, God made this promise to me. And so I know that if He made this promise to me, and I'm scared. Having faith don't mean you're not going to be scared. Having faith sometimes don't even mean that you won't doubt, because sometimes you will doubt, because God know that you're a human. He know that you're a human. I want you to look at Matthew 14:14, and I want y'all, but before we go to Matthew 14:14, I'm going to take you to the end of Matthew 27 at 27 through 29. And when Peter had to go and walk on water, and he called out to Jesus and he said, Is that you? If that's you, tell me to come out there on the water. And he said, Come. And Peter walked. But before that, before Peter had the faith to even step out of that boat and to be able to walk on the water, he had to see the miracles that Jesus did before he could even have that faith. And when you go back to Matthew 14:14, and he was with them when Jesus landed on the land, and he saw a large crowd, and he had compassion, and he healed many of the sick. people that was around. And you fast forward to Matthew 15:17. We have here only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. This is the one of the first miracles. Well, not one of the first miracles, but this is another example of not having enough. Not having enough, and you looking in your banking account, you got to feed these kids. These bills is being due, and you don't have enough, and you're saying, how am I going to be able to do all of this with what I have? But it shows how Jesus had only a little, but he fed the 5,000. And then when you fast forward to Matthew 18, and it say Jesus took those 5 fish, 18 through 21. He took those five loaves of bread and those 2 fish. He looked up to heaven and he gave thanks. That alone is very powerful, because that is all about your perception. We have to get in a business of being thankful for what we had. A lot of times when you are in the struggle and you're in the wilderness season, the only thing that you can think of and the only thing that you can see is what you don't have. What you don't have. The guys say, I want you to be thankful for what you do have, because what you do have is what I'm going to multiply. I don't need you to have a lot for me to come in and make sure everything is together. You can have nothing and I still create something out of nothing. You can have a penny and I'll multiply that. And so that's very, very important that Jesus showed us an example of. That he took those 5 loaves and those 2 fish and he looked up to heaven and he gave thanks for that. And that is when it was multiplied. And the 5,000 was able to be fed once he gave thanks. And then you look at even now, even when you fast forward to Matthew 22, and Jesus sent them away. And it wasn't that Jesus sent them away because he was just trying to, he just didn't want to be bothered. He needed to go and pray with his Father, but also it's a deeper meaning in this, because Jesus needed them to see that, okay, when I'm not with you, this is what can happen. When you don't have the covering of God over you, when you don't have the faith with you, this is what can happen. And he sent them away. And then he started to walk on the water. And we fast forward to 25, when Jesus walked on the water. And they got scared. And Jesus said, do not be afraid. The enemy wants you to live in fear. He wants you to live in fear. He wants you to live in doubt. That is what he wants to do. That's how he operates in. But God say, you don't fear nothing. You don't doubt nothing, because I'm the Almighty God. I cover everything. So you do not have to doubt. You don't have to doubt. You don't have to live in fear. But God do know that we are human. So that's why he say, stay in prayer. Take your fears to me. Bring your desires to me. Bring your concerns to me, so that I can lay my peace blanket over you, so that I can come in and work it out. Yes, our Father already know everything that we have going on, but it's more different when we come and we lay everything down at the altar on the table and let him know, Father, I need you. I can't do this by myself. I can't do this by myself. And so when you fast forward to 29, and when he had the faith, by this time Peter done witnessed everything that Jesus done, that a lot of things that miracles that Jesus created. And so that gave him a sense of encouragement and a sense of, strength, and of like, okay, now I don't watch him heal the sick. I don't watch him take 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish and feed 5,000. Like, I know, he powerful. So, okay, you telling me to go ahead and walk on the water. I'm going to go ahead and walk on the water. And that was something that I went through when I saw God bless me the way he was blessing me, even throughout my struggle. So when he told me to take my kids, quit a good paying job, a government job, and to go out there into the unknown by myself with these kids, I had to do it, because I said, you know what? I'm scared as a mug. I'm scared. And Father, if I fail, everybody is going to tell me, I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. But Father, I'm trusting in you. But I'm still scared. I'm still nervous. I still don't know which way I'm going, but I'm trusting in you to lead me. I'm trusting in you to lead me because I know you never fail. And so God will allow things to go on so that he can strengthen up your faith. And then when you fast forward to 29, to 31, 29 to 31. And when Peter got out and he walked and he started to walk on the water, but when the wind started to pick up, and he started to see what he was in, that is when he started to sink. And we go through that all the time. We'll get that burst of encouragement and that burst of Jesus in us, and we'll be like, okay, I could do anything, and then you get out there and you start walking and you start moving in it, and then you realize, like, hold up, I'm in deep. Like, I'm out here deep, and this is going on and that's going on. We take our eyes off of God and we put our eyes on the problem. And that is what that verse is signifying. How when we take our eyes off of Jesus and we start to look at the where we're at, and then hold up, I'm out here in the ocean and all these wind is coming and all that. I'm not equipped for this. Like, I don't got no life vest. I don't even know how to swim. Like, hold up, I'm not equipped for this. And that's when he started to call out and say, Jesus, save me. And Jesus had to go and pick up his hand. He said, you of little faith. You of little faith. God wants us to have unmeasurable faith. And in order for us to get that faith, we have to go through some things. You're going to have to go through some things. But when you come out of it, you're going to be so much stronger, so much more resilient in what the enemy is bringing. And that is something that the enemy don't want. He want us to be easily moved. He want us to be swayed back and forth. But when you look at the times that we're in this season, in this days and time, no money can save you. No family can save you. No, not even nothing. You got to have Jesus with you. But your faith got to be strong. It's the faith that's going to get you through. It's everybody standing on business, but you need to be standing on faith, because that's what's going to carry you through. That's what's not going to allow you to be moved. That's what touched God when he know that, okay, no matter what situation I'm in, no matter what I have going on, I know my Father is not going to let me fail. He ain't let me fail all this time, and he's not going to let me fail now. And so I want you to be encouraged on this day. Anytime that you feel like, okay, I ain't going to make it, you come back and you pray. Father, this is how I'm feeling. Father, this is what I have going on. You say, this is what you said to me. Give him back his word or what he spoke to you. Go back to the place and to the movement and the emotions that you was in when you first got the revelation. And sit in that, because God will not let you fail. And just know that the storm was not meant to break you, but to build you. The storm was meant to build you. So you be encouraged. You stay resilient. You stay prayed up. When your faith is wavering and you get and your legs are shaky, take it to the Lord and say, Father, I'm shaky out here. My faith is a little weak right now. I need you to help me. I need you to help me. And even if the situation don't turn around right then, but you will get a peace. You will get a peace about what you have going on. A peace will come over you. And so I want you to stay encouraged. God has you. He loves you. And it may not sometimes seem like it, because you may say, how much more can a person take? But God knows that he's going to be with you, and you stay resilient. Keep your faith no matter what. Keep your faith no matter what. I cannot stress this to you. No, I can't stress it to you enough. Keep your faith. That is something the enemy don't want you to have. It's faith. Because he no longer you got that faith, he can't touch you like he can touch others. Because he's going to touch others by hitting that faith. attacking your hope, attacking what you know to be true, what God said to you. Because when you don't have faith, and when you lose your faith, your hope leaves. And when you don't have hope, you stop fighting. You stop fighting. And once you stop fighting, the enemy has you. He has you right where he wants you. He wants you broke down and disgusted. But no, you stand on your faith, because God got you. And just know that he got you. And when you want to go and you read Matthew 14 and you look at and ask God to minister it through you. Read Psalms 91, Psalms 23. Equip yourself with the word when you're in those seasons of doubt. Because you're human. We all human. I don't care how much you've been rocking with God. You could be in church your whole life. And soon a storm comes, you crashing down. So it don't matter about none of that. But it does matter about using God's word to keep you standing, because it will. Ask him to put that peace blanket over you, because he will. Ask him to renew your strength when you don't have none, because he will. I know how it is to be depleted of every kind of strength you have, from mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, to where you can be so broke down to where you're like, God, I can't even pray. I don't even got the words. So I just need you just come in my heart and just pull it from my heart, because I'm depleted of everything. So I need for you to come in and pull out what needs to be pulled out. A lot of times, God it ain't to break you. It's because you're in a pruning season. He's preparing you for what is to come. He's preparing you for the blessings. But sometimes the blessing's so big that he got to take you through the storm. You got to go through the storm. But when that storm is over and you see all of the growth, you see all of these flowers, all of your vegetation has grown. I went through a season where during that corona, and I started doing my gardening, and I was growing everything from lettuce all the way down to watermelon. And I was so excited and so happy. And it brought about so many different insects that I never seen before. All different kind of insects. But I was okay with that. I researched that. I learned that, okay, I put a little curvy water, on these plants, on the leaves. That's going to keep some of them insects away. I put some orange fillings in my soil. That's going to keep them fire ants away. But I won't prepare for that snake to come in the garden. So when that snake came in the garden, in my garden, it scared me, because I was a single mother. I couldn't send my son out there to go and get the snake. And it terrified me to the point where I said, I ain't never going back out there. And I looked out my window every day and watched my garden dry up. And that is when I started to pray for the rain. Like, God, please water my plants. Please water that garden out there, because I ain't going out there. I'm scared. I ain't going out there. There's got snakes out there. I ain't messing with them snakes. And I started to pray for the rain. I started to appreciate the rain, because I knew that the rain was going to feed my seeds. All the seeds that God has planted, all the seeds that you have went and you pushed, God he using the storm, the struggle, all of that is used to bring your harvest. You're going through a harvest season, and sometimes that harvest season, it look like work. In order to pull up them crops, you had to go through them insects trying to tear up your leaves. You're going to have to go through some snakes. You're going to have to go through some rodents trying to take your harvest. You're going to have to go through those things. And I let my garden dry up, because I was so scared of that snake. And when I fast forward and I look back on it, and I be like, how in the world, like, snakes in the garden? That's so common. But I didn't get that revelation until after I let the garden dry up. So don't allow trials and tribulations to break you. Be like the eagle. When the storm comes, the eagle uses it to lift them higher. You ride the wave for dear life. You got to hang on by a pinky. And I know what it's like to hang on by a pinky. That's all you got. You ain't got no more. You can just hang on by the pinky. But if you hang on by that pinky, and then you'll realize that you done got enough strength that you got a whole hand up. You done got enough strength that now you got two hands up. You done got enough strength that now you pulling yourself up. You pulling yourself up. But God know that already. He know we capable of that. And so the struggle is just to let you see that you more capable than what you know, long as you got God with you. Long as you got Jesus with you, you ain't got to worry about failing.